They're not an expensive item. Like I said, there's all sorts of different ways to do it. Just a piece of bar, 2 holes drilled in it. Some 6mm aluminium bar with 2 holes in. We'll connect it, and then that's basically your axle's on. And it is actually that quick. I was quite surprised. Tracks. Trying to think now what's right way. What I did, I think I went that way. And like I said, these are the tracks that have come off. Just slot them into the bottom ones, and just a bit of gentle pressure. Just a bit of gentle pressure until they just slip on that top wheel. They slip into the slots, and that's on. And if you look, you will see there is a connector where they clip together. So you see there's one split. So you don't really want to be pulling on that like I did earlier on and split it. So stick that connector in the middle of there. Get it over there. And then, like I said, it isn't a massive amount of pressure. They don't need to be really tight, and that's on. When we did this on your bruder tracks, the rubber will sit closer to this on the machine that comes. I have dropped them away a little bit. I haven't gone that far up with them. I think it does help because you get a little bit more articulation with it, especially there if you look. Well, the way Bruder had it, where they run it pretty close, it didn't have that much articulation on their axle. This has, so when you've done this, that gap will be bigger. But like I said, even that now, it's pretty close. But if you look, it will get these have more articulation for climbing steps and bricks and off site. I haven't touched the articulation on the back. I've left it pretty much like that. You could cut some tabs in it that will give you more. I don't really find it that necessary, so I've left that as it is. Your wires, basically on your motors, the red on this motor connects to the red on that motor, and then black to black, earth to earth, wire up. That should make them both go forwards, because I've switched the polarity on one motor. So looking at it from front, I generally keep the left where it's red. There's a red mark on motor. Keep that red there, and then obviously I just switch it there. So when I put these in and solder them up, I've already done it. So you're connecting your red wire to your red wire, black to black, and then they'll transfer through to your ESC. Front, what I tend to do is then get a battery, make sure that them are going the right way, and then when I've got these same red to red, black to black, and then I will connect them and make sure like that to live, that to negative on your battery. And if it's in reverse, then obviously you're going to swap them round. I do try and keep them where you will be right. So really, that red wire from the back will stick, red wire from front, black. You should have it both forward, both back, but it is worth checking. I've turned up at a show once and I've managed to connect the wires up all totally wrong, and it won't run because I haven't done that. Just check them. It's just a case of small battery. Even a little 9-volt square battery will do it. Just tell you, make sure both of these are going in the right direction. Just pop the rest of my tracks on this, and then right. Put your joint one there, you split one in there. Just slot them in the bottom ones, and just slot them in. should be. All the bearings in these axles, there's actually 40 bearings. I do try to put the screws on the outside, but obviously there I've got it wrong. There's 40 bearings in these, which is part of the reason they're as expensive as they are, you know. Even these have, you know, there's 4 bearings just in these rockers. I think it does make a difference. Certainly makes a difference on battery life. Certainly makes a difference that it won't wear them away. These are the same. Look, this arm here has 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there. And there's 7, 8, 9, 10 bearings just in that arm there. But like I said, if you didn't have the bearings, you just use plastic, you'd just wear them away. You know, so bearings, battery life, it improves everything. You have no hauling up, so you have no stress on your tracks. I've had these now for a couple of years. We've had them running. We've never had a problem with tracks. And like I said, we have drove them in some pretty silly places, really. But that's basically it. And then what you do then, like I said, I put my speed controller and my receiver in there. Try and pop an aerial out, which you can get under the cab, and then my on-off switch. You could cut a small groove to get your wire through for your on-off switch, but your cab will actually go down on them. With these, I find it better just to leave your aerials out. Well, like I said, you could go in here with it all, and then just feed this wire back that way. You know, I found it easier with that way, because when I put my live in from the battery, you can get these in singles, two things. So basically, you put your live wire. Some people will know this, some won't. Put your live from your battery in one, and then you click it down, and then you can take your live off that for your speed controller, say. You just give them a bit of a twist as you go in. So that's your live to your speed controller. And then obviously you've got the same with your battery. But you can get these in from up to whatever number you want. You know, most electrical wholesalers and that will have them, or Amazon. I think you can buy a full set for not a lot of money. I find them very good for maintenance. Probably considered a little bit lazy, really. But like I said, on this scenario where I knew it was coming down, I didn't have to cut my wires and resolder. So, and then what I have then is my lights, my plugs for my lights. So then, like I said, you're using, this feeds the live in, and then it feeds it to the other socket, so you can put as many. So this would actually have a 4 minimum, because one would feed back to another little speed controller at the back of here for a power takeoff, which I put on my other tractors and my wagons for my tippers and my low loaders and stuff like that. Again, when my shipment from China comes, we should have all that and have it all sorted out. You just plug it in. So basically, you plug a battery into that now. You've got all your power. There's your switch. That goes straight front, which that will come to in a sec. And then obviously, these go to your motors. What I've done here, I think, sure I haven't done it together, red to red, man. Yeah, I think. We'll soon find out. doing it this way, but it's wrong. I've doubled these together. You really, ideally, use 2 or 3s on this, so you just have one way of going in. You can't get 2 in, no problem. That goes into that. So I think when you're actually doing it from start to finish, like a nice 2 or 3 hours or an afternoon, taking your time, and you have a working thing. It's not days or weeks. You know, when I think we did this in an afternoon, didn't we, when we had it, to fit the originals, and then, like I said, we chopped and changed them and altered designs a little bit to make them better and stuff. Then obviously you feed your receiver in, but if you have got polarity wrong or whatever, it's easy enough just to undo them. And they are insulated, you know, and especially in this model, because you have the room to hide them. So it's like, yeah. But like I said, on mine I have a extra one here because just take my lights off. One for my bonnet, one for my amber lights on roof, one for cab lights. And like I said, if you use 4 of these or even 5, you can take off as many powers as you want. So if some people are like me, where I weld all day long, every day welding, and I've done for years, but when it comes to soldering, that was terrible. I couldn't do it. My son had to finally sit me down one day and teach, like painting, try and teach me how to do it, you know. Some people aren't happy with soldering. They're a brilliant alternative, and like I said, in this, especially in this model, you have the room to lose them basically. If you'd leave, I had this ESC and something else, and normally I would have left the wires a little bit longer, so I could have tucked them in a bit better. It does look like just tight really, and use the same ones, untangle it all, make sure it's reasonably tight. And this, like I said, under here, you can see I can get my finger through quite easily. Shove that on through to your battery. So basically, then plug your receiver in. Just signal number 2. Tuck. Like I said, you will normally I would make a tidier job, honest. Set the receiver in the top. I generally leave my aerials out and like that. I know it's a bit unsightly, but it is better reception on some layouts, quite big. That one goes through. It doesn't matter, they're just all power, so they're just all on this 7. These motors, they were on 12 volt, they were on 7.4 volt, it doesn't matter. Slightly slower obviously on 7.4, so we'll get to that now. I'll just feed these back through, otherwise it will sit in there and then I'll come to use it, or grandsons will come to use it and it won't run, and then I'll have to do it. So if I do it now, it's right. Switch is there, I'll leave it under there for lights, because generally it depends which cab I've got on. I can just unplug the cab and thing, but you would have a light switch obviously out. And there. I'm just going to leave that like that. You cut a slot or a groove for your wire. Just pop your cab, line it up, and just pop it in. That's it. The front end, in here you have a big radiator. Take that out. I took that out, depending on the side of the batteries. On this, you have these, leave them in and leave them there and there, because they sit in that, and I'll locate it. The engine, I took the radiator off and I just opened it up at front, probably more than I needed to, because what happens, I can get a battery straight in there like that. I think it's a 2200 11 volt battery, not big, or I can stand a bigger battery, stubby 11.23 cell LiPo under here. So you have a choice. I find I plug my wire in, and then I have telemetry me for my battery thing for my radio. Plug that in, sit the battery in there. You know, you don't need a massive battery. They do last. You know, you don't need big batteries like we used to. Like I said, 1800 7.4 is quite a small battery. 1800 3 cell will fit in there, or under there. And then what you do when you put the bonnet on, when you've done that, you can see what I did. Put the bonnet on like that, so it just sits forward, and you can sit it up, and you can stand your battery up under here, and then just literally close it. When the bonnet was shut, I actually drew round the with a marker pen, and then same on the other side. Just put some little mark dots or whatever on the engine where the bonnet is. And take my bonnet off. Then when I was putting it, I didn't go past them. So basically, if you look at that engine there, and you see this detail here, you see this flap comes down. That's part flat. That's not been cut. Just don't take it below that. You shouldn't need to, and that way you're keeping all your detail of your engine. I didn't go too close to the cab, because I find doing that weakens this. On other tractors it does. So I've left everything as much. I've just took absolute minimum. Not had to split the body in half, and literally time it's took to make this video is probably not much different to what it'd actually take you to convert it. So that's it. If you have any more questions, anything you want to know, just contact me. Message me through website, Facebook, you know, whatever. And then once it's up, you switch it on. You switch it on, you're away. On the hitch, nearly forgot. You can use your Bruder one, or this comes with this. Goes in, pin through there, so you different heights for your trailers. At some point we will do a 3-point linkage that literally will slide in there as well. Front linkage, not really going to look at it any time next month anyway. Probably not this side of Christmas, because we have all the models that we're doing, and obviously we've got to catch up and make enough of these to go. It's something we will look at in future. It certainly has the room inside for it, same as here. Under here you'll just have a servo driving a 3-point linkage, which gives it another dimension again. I love having that for weeding my garden, and just it looks good. For now we've left it as a towing tractor, but everything is in place, so when these do come, you just buy it, put your servo in, slot it in, connect it up, and it should be away. Will be done shortly. I'm not going to give a time on it, because like I said, at the minute just a little bit pulled out, because it does take quite a bit of time, and I still have quite a few other parts to make. So hope that helps you. Any problems or anything else you need to know, just get in touch. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.